Hello everyone, and welcome to the weird, scary and horrible parts of humanity. For religious believers, religious officials are the most trusted, good-willing and well-meaning members of society, but they can also be capable of some of the most horrible crimes ever seen in human history, as seen through the case of Andras Kuhn. Andras Kuhn was born on the 8th of November 1911 near Bator in what was then the Kingdom of Hungary. Having left high school, Kuhn decided to become a priest. Attending seminary in Rome, Italy, he became highly impressed by the fascist regime of Benito Mussolini. Finishing his training, Kuhn began practicing in a Franciscan monastery in Kezdivarashalov, as well as giving sermons and offering nuptial masses at the Sacred Heart of Jesus Roman Catholic Church in Városmajor, from which he was expelled in 1943. In the midst of the Second World War, he travelled to the Hungarian capital of Budapest, where his parents Károly Kuhn and Maria Vasas had moved in the 1930s to become housekeepers at Vaki Ut. In early 1944, Kuhn enrolled in the Arrow Cross Party. The party was a far-right Hungarian party led by Ferenc Szalasi. The party governed Hungary following the Nazi invasion under Operation Magarefe, ordered by Adolf Hitler on the 12th of March 1944. Between the 15th of October 1944 and the 28th of May 1945, as many as 10 to 15,000 Hungarian civilians, mainly Jews and Romas, were murdered, and as many as 80,000 Hungarians were deported to concentration camps in Austria. In August 1944, the home where Kuhn's parents lived was bombed, and Kuhn ensured that his family was allocated to a so-called Star House, a house formerly occupied by Jews who had been sent to a concentration camp. His parents were sent to 33 Városmajor House. In October 1944, Kuhn took part in the execution of the Arrow Cross Takeover, distributing weapons from the warehouse at Pasareti Ut 10, and became a leader of the district archery organization. He then became the head of the propaganda department of the Ministry of the Interior, giving messages on the Hungarian Radio Corporation, Magyar Radio, and in St. Stephen's Basilica. He also continued to preach regularly in the parish church of the Heart of Jesus in Városmajor. He also actively took place in the Holocaust in Hungary, taking command of an Arrow Cross death squad which massacred Jews. Continuing to dress in his cassock and Roman collar, along with a holstered piston and an Arrow Cross armband, his orders usually ran, "In the name of Christ, fire." It will never be known how many people he killed, but perhaps one of his most infamous attacks was his attack on the 10th of January 1945 in the Liszt Ferenc Square, where Transylvanian Jewish writer Erno Ligeti and his family were murdered by Kuhn's death squad, with only one child surviving the massacre. Indeed, between December 1944 and January 1945, Kuhn's killing squad shot about 500 Jews on the Danube River. He also targeted and tortured military fugitives, as well as looting, robbing, interrogating and torturing Jews. However, a blood-crazed Kuhn did not just target Jews, and with the country descending into anarchy, with Soviet troops approaching, Kuhn was free to do what he wanted. At the end of December 1944, he arrested, tortured and robbed the office of a Swiss lawyer living in Budapest, as well as the office of the Swedish embassy in Budapest. Taking Hungarian employees from both places, he shot them dead. On the 12th of January 1945, 92 patients of the Chevra Kadisa Hospital was shot dead, despite the hospital being operated with a Red Cross letter of protection. On the 14th of January 1945, with Kuhn's orders, a further 130 patients were murdered and 24 doctors and nurses were killed. People were shot in groups of 5 to 6, with patients killed in their beds and the hospital looted. Further executions were carried out on the 15th of January, and finally on the 17th of January, the hospital and corpses were set on fire. Even the Arrow Cross authorities were disgusted with Kuhn's crimes against non-Jews, and on the 20th of January 1945 a police officer was sent to arrest Kuhn, who captured and beat the officer before releasing him. 10 police officers were then sent to arrest Kuhn, who were overpowered by the crazed priest, who beat them and locked them in the basement of his house. Eventually 60 police officers showed up at Kuhn's house and he was successfully arrested. Sentenced to death for 27 robbery murders by the Arrow Cross National Public Prosecutor's Office, the Budapest representative of the Arrow Cross pardoned him after just 20 days of imprisonment. However, the Soviet Red Army was occupying Hungary by this stage, with Budapest occupied, and numerous members of the Székely government attempted to escape Hungary between the 28th and 29th of March 1945. A free Kuhn attempted to escape Budapest but was arrested while fleeing. In 1945, the People's Court in Hungary was created with the aim of bringing justice to war crimes in Hungary committed during the Second World War. Kuhn was brought in front of the People's Court in April 1945, which was overseen by the Soviet Army. He was sentenced to death for 500 murders, although even that is an estimate. By this stage, the Hungary which Kuhn found himself was very different to the one in which he had committed his murders, with German occupation having ended on the 4th of April 1945. His leader, Székely, was captured on the 6th of May 1945, and the party for which Kuhn had shed so much blood was disestablished a day later on the 7th of May 1945. And just one day later, on the 8th of May 1945, Nazi Germany had fallen, and in essence, World War II in Europe was over. On the 19th of September 1945, Kuhn gave an interview to journalist Rzeszów Szirmal, to whom he admitted beating Jews but denied killing anyone and claimed that he was falsely convicted. He also displayed self-pity, claiming that he was even more of a victim than any of the Jews who had died in the Holocaust. He blamed his crimes on the anti-Zionist sentiment at the time, noting that with the chaotic situation he had lost all control and developed an obsession with the devil. Kuhn filed an appeal to his sentence, which was heard on the 19th of September 1945 and ultimately failed. On the same day, Kuhn was taken to the gallows and executed by hanging. His last word was perseverance. Székely was found guilty and executed by the People's Court on the 12th of March 1946 at the age of 49. Thank you for watching. Please do yourself a favour and hit that like and subscribe button and the bell icon to inform you when new videos come out. It helps more than you know and your support is truly appreciated. You'll also be seeing 2 other videos for you to check out. Until next time, stay awesome, stay classy, be kind to everyone you meet, and have an amazing day.